Leo, welcome to your monthly horoscope for March 2025. My name is Adeana. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and in this video, I will be going over all of the significant energy you will be navigating for the month of March. This is a really big month as we are coming into eclipse season, and we have Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde this month. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you align with my energy and enjoy my content. Now let's get right into it. So let's first touch on some of the major transits for March. So on the 1st, we have Venus stationing retrograde. On the 3rd, we have Mercury entering Aries. On the 14th, we have our full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo at 23 degrees. On the 15th, we have Mercury stationing retrograde in Aries. On the 20th, we have the Sun entering Aries. And then on the 22nd, we have our Venus Cazimi. On the 24th, we have our Mercury Cazimi. And then on the 27th, we have Venus re entering Pisces. And on the 29th, we have our new moon solar eclipse in Aries at 9 degrees, closing out the Aries and Libra axis. So, whatever changes you've been going through over the last 2 years in these areas of life, there is a closing out. It's almost like a last hurrah, new energy kind of coming in, but to solidify the changes that have taken place. Now, also on the 29th, we have Mercury re-entering Pisces. And on the 30th, we have Neptune entering Aries, which is a huge energy shift. So now let's get into the first week. And for those of you who have not watched my monthly horoscopes before, I break the months down by week and select a chart for each week to give you a bit of a visual. So as soon as we come into the first week, on the 1st, we have Venus stationing retrograde at 10 degrees of Aries. And that is in your ninth house of higher education, uh, higher knowledge, long distance travel, philosophy, your belief systems. Astrology is in the ninth house, foreign cultures is in the ninth house. So there can be something that you are rethinking, reassessing, or reevaluating with those themes and topics. But remember that Venus has been in pre-shadow since the very end of January. So for the entire month of February, Venus was pre-shadow. So whatever themes, topics, events, energies were showing up around throughout February around your career and public reputation and your legacy and what you want to be known for out in the world, because Venus rules that 10th house of career. And Venus also rules your third house of local travel, vehicles, community, neighborhood, neighbors, siblings, cousins, also your mindset and way of thinking and communication. So Venus can be also working with those areas of life and themes and topics as well. Plus, of course, the eighth house and the ninth house, which is where Venus is going to retrograde. And you have Pisces in your eighth house of your partner's finances, money coming in from outside resources, taxes, inheritance, investments. Also, psychological healing and transformation is in the eighth house, and intimacy is in the eighth house as well. So this Venus retrograde can be working with, multiple areas of your chart, your life. And we're just moving out of that Aries Libra axis and all those changes that have taken place in the third and the ninth house. So if you think back the last 2 years, what changes took place? What new direction are you moving into when it has to do with your belief systems or learning? Did you decide to take a course or dive into astrology or travel more or learn more about foreign cultures? Publishing and teaching is also in that ninth house. On March 3rd, Mercury is going to enter Aries. Now, Mercury will be pre-shadow here because Mercury is going to station retrograde in the middle of the month. So as we come into March, Mercury is already pre-shadow. So we want to pay attention to, our thoughts, communication, information coming in, conversations that we're having, because we can be revisiting these themes and topics. Now, Mercury rules your 11th house of friends and friendships, social groups, and online connections. networking, and all of the organizations that you're connected to is in that 11th house. And then Mercury also rules your second house of money, finances, and material possessions and personal values, which is where the South Node is transiting. So there's going to be a lot showing up the month of March where you start to get an idea of what you're moving out of in this area of life with that South Node, or what can possibly be coming back from the past. There's a lot of activations this month, so we really need to be journaling and paying attention to what is showing up because it may not seem significant in the moment, but it can be quite significant down the road. So, whatever information you're receiving or conversations you're having, if anything sticks out, write it down. Now, once we get to the second week of March, on the 14th, we have our full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo at 23 degrees. And this is really bringing in new energy for the changes that are taking place in this area of life. Now, at this point, this is like hours before Mercury stations retrograde, because on the 15th, Mercury is going to station retrograde at 9 degrees of Aries, and Mercury is the dispositor of Virgo. So there can be a lot that you're rethinking around money, finances, and personal values. There can be a lot that you're reassessing. Again, what showed up the weeks prior to the Mercury station. That can give you an idea of what you will be reevaluating around money and finances. Mercury also rules that 11th house, again, of, networking, organizations, friendships. So there can be a lot you're kind of navigating around there. But, that South Node represents where we are moving away from or releasing and letting something go, or there's something coming back from the past. So either way, there's going to be glimpses of what those themes and topics are going to be. So make sure you're paying attention throughout the month of March. Then we get to the third week of March. Oh, and I actually just want to mention that on March 17th, we will have the Sun form a conjunction to the North Node. And I didn't add it in here because afterwards I realized kind of how significant it was. That North Node has been at 27 degrees since February 8th and will be there until April 17th. Um, so it's quite a while for that North Node to be at 27 degrees, and there's been a lot of conjunctions to the North Node. So the nodes primarily work with the Sun and the Moon. So when the Sun forms in conjunction to that North Node, you can get some really beautiful support, new energy coming in. So pay attention around March 17th or on March 17th to what is showing up for you. This could be around your partner's finances. The sun is your chart ruler. So this could be, some really beautiful support coming in for your new direction when it has to do with possibly your psychological healing and transformational journey or investments or something along those lines. Now on the 20th, we have the sun entering Aries, which again is in your ninth house. On the 22nd, we have the Venus Cazimi at 2 degrees of Aries. Now this is where we want to pay attention to, some insights or, something coming in. Venus rules that 10th house of career, public reputation, and that third house of communication, your mindset, siblings, cousins, neighbors, community. So this is essentially when Venus gets cleansed. Venus is going through a renewal with the Cazimi. And so pay attention on this day to what is showing up because there can be, some insight for this whole Venus retrograde journey that you're moving through. Now, once we get to week 4 on the 24th, we have the Mercury Cazimi at 4 degrees of Aries. And so again, we want to pay attention to, the conversations, intuitive downloads, some any insight that we can be, information we're receiving, um, because it's those mercurial things and Mercury ruling your 11th house and your second house. It can have to do with money and finances, your personal values, friendships. On the 27th, we have Venus re-entering Pisces. And then on the 29th, we have our new moon solar eclipse in Aries at 9 degrees. And there's going to be like this last hurrah closing out this Aries Libra axis and all these changes that have taken place the last 2 years in your third and ninth house. So that's definitely good. It's kind of closing out this axis. And then also on the 29th, we have Mercury re-entering Pisces. And then on the 30th, we have Neptune entering Aries. And that's going to be a really big energy shift. We've had Neptune in Pisces for like the last 14 years. Neptune is going to enter Aries March 30th and will remain in Aries until October 22nd. So that gives us a nice window to get a taste of what this Neptune and Aries energy is going to bring for us on an individual level. All right, Leo, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this helps you navigate the energy for March, and I will connect with you in the next one.